Hi all students, let's go through lab 4. The first question was in lab 4 is the take home question from lab 3. So we are going through these questions and we are going through all lab 4 questions. So let's revise with each other how we solve any problem in C. First thing, we read the problem correctly. Then we determine the input and the outputs. Determining inputs with its data types let us know how to solve the problem, what is the input, and what variable should I create for this input to be used. Then determining outputs let it easy to me to determine what I'm going to do. So let's go through this problem. Write a program that reads an integer. An integer means one integer, then prints the digits in the units and the tens. When a program is provided with a sample run, you should print like the sample run, exactly like the sample run. Okay, so let's go through the question. So it reads an integer. So in the real life, we are going to write in our paper like our input. Then we do one integer, right? And the output, okay, units, which is integer, right? And tens, which is integer 2. Right, this is the problem we are trying to solve. Okay, so first of all, we do inputs, number of scans with the same number of inputs. So we should do scan f with the variable. Let us say we are going to use x as a variable. While we are working right now, we'll do lots of errors that you may face, so please determine which error will raise if I run this. Yes, it will raise undeclared x variable because this variable haven't been declared, so you have to do integer x the first. There is a good way in code blocks. If you right click and format use style, you'll see the file in a good format. Okay, this is scanf, and we need to print this value, which is please enter number, right? Should we put it in scanf? No, because scanf only get an input from a user. If we want to print, we should use printf. Okay, so printf, please enter the number, then one space. Here I got the input, which is one input is the number that we need to know. Now we need to get the output, and which is units and tens. How we can get from this number the output, which is the units and tens? If you can see, this number 8 is the units, which is the right number, a right digit in this number, and the tens is the second from the right. So for 8, I think it's very easy if we think about it like a remainder. Okay, to revise remainder operator, I will give you an example. If you are having 13 oranges and there is 5 students, how many orange can be taken by every student? Yes, 2. And what is the remainder? 2 times 5 equal 10. 13 minus 10 equal 3. So we are having 3 oranges that haven't been distributed to the students. So remainder operator gives us the number that is not divisible by the number we are dividing to. Okay, if you are in the last example we were dividing by 5, so the number that's not divisible by 5 is 3. Okay, so how we can use this remainder operator to get the units from this number? If you can see, every number in units is not divisible by 10. Let's give you an example. If you are doing 99 remainder 10, you will get 9. 98 remainder 10, you will get 8. 90 remainder 10, you will get 0. And 111 remainder 10, you will get 1. 1899 remainder 10, you will get 9. So remainder 10 gets the right digit in the number, which is units. Okay, so it's okay for now. We can print the units which is, what is the data type of the number? Yes, it's integer, so we'll use %d. Then we can do \n. What is the value we need to print? It's x %10, which is the left number. Let's go through this. There is an error here. Do you expect? What is the error? The error is saying expected semicolon before scanf. We can put here a missing semicolon. Okay, let's go through this example. Let's write 1 2 4. Okay, units is 5. Then we should go to the tens. Let's think about the tens. The tens is the number. Yes, for sure it's divisible by 10. So it will not be an answer for the number divisible by remainder 10. Okay, so we will try to find another way. Let us say that we are having a number like this. If we divided this number by 10, what do you expect you will get? Okay, 1.3, right? No, it's not 0.3 because this is an integer division. Okay, integer division does not get a point. If you are having an integer over an integer, this gets the number as an integer. Okay, so this way we can use the same. In our example, if we divided this number by 10, it will get this part of the number. And if we are having this number, we can get the right digit using remainder 10 too, right? Let us do it in 2 times. Okay, print f tens %d, then x divided by 10. You can see here, if I got the number, it is 1 2 3 4. Okay, so to get this 4, how can I do this? Write remainder 10. Okay, so units is 5, tens is 4. Thank you. Okay, let's go with problem 1 in lab 4. The first problem here is write C programs that reads 2 integers. So we should go to our paper here and say inputs 2 integers. Okay, in variables A and B, exchange them, then print the values of A and B after exchange. So we will print okay, A as an integer and B as an integer too. Okay, so inputs is A and B, outputs is A and B. Okay, so going to our new project here, we should do scanf. We are scanning two integers, no sample run, so it's okay for us to do whatever we need. I will scan the two integers beside each other. Okay, some students missed to write this ampersand in scan. Scan needs the address of the variable, not the value of the variable. And also we need to do declaration for those variables and print saying please enter the two numbers. Okay, here is the two numbers. What did this problem need? It needs to scan two numbers, A and B, then exchange them. It means in memory, okay, not in the print. Then print the values of A and B. So if you solve this question like this, print f %d, let us say A equal, then comma B equal and giving B and A, it will be printed like exchanged, but this is not the requirement. Okay, here is an expected semicolon. If we see 3, 4, so it's 3 and 5 switched. Okay, this is not the requirement because you are saying A and you are giving it the value B. Okay, so the requirement is to run A and B like this in the end. Okay, so we are in a case that we need to put the value of A in B and B in A. If you do this, A equal B, the value of B will be set in A. Let us see what's being done in memory. Okay, let's do it right here so we can see both code. Okay, if we go here, if we pretend that this is the memory we are having, so the memory in the first program, if we have integer A and B, it will just save garbage. Okay, it will have like garbage value. Let us say in a some garbage value. Okay, then when the user scans the values, the values that you have entered will be, the first one will be in A, so A value will be 5 and B value, let us say it will be 3. Okay, if we do A equal B, this means that the right operand value, which is the value of B, will be set in the variable which is A. So A value will be 3. So we are in an issue now because the user enters 5 and there is no 5 in memory. Okay, all values of A and B is 5, is 3. So we need to do something before this. Yes, you should create an integer, another integer which is C, to save the value of A in it. Okay, So if we go through this program, first we'll have another variable here, c, which have now value of a. Then a takes the value of b, so a is 3 right now, and we are having a missing statement. Do you know which one? Yes, b should be equal to c. Let's try this. If we go, let's click 5, then 2, so 2 and 5. Do you know what will be done if I switched this with this? It will not work. Yes, let's try it. Okay, go to my memory and expect that the user enter 5 and b equals 3, then c equal a. This means I will remove this value and put the value of a. Then b equal c. This means I will remove the value of b equal c, and a equal b. This will be 5 and 5, so the value will be printed as 5 and 5. So the order of commands and statements is very important in C. So try to solve it at home and see if you can do it or not. Thank you. So number 2, write a program that reads one 5-digit number. One 5-digit number. So the input is one integer. Okay. If you determine here input x, which is an integer, and outputs, let's say, then separates the number into its individual digits and prints the digits separated from another by 2 spaces each. He's giving us a hint, which is use combination of integer division and remainder operator. For example, if user types in 421 3 lines, the program should print 4 2 spaces 2 2 spaces 1 2 spaces 3 2 spaces 9. And another hint is using 5 variables to split the integer variable for each digit. So I think we should print 5 integers, right? So how can we get those 5 integers from this integer? The hint is saying that we should use combination of integer division and remainder operator. Let's create a new project. Okay, let's scan the number. Okay, then we need to declare x, and also in the problem it's saying that we need a variable for each digit, so we'll have x4 x5 from x1 to x5. But sorry, I'm having like a question for you. Is it okay to call the variable 1x 2x 3x? No, it's not allowed to create a variable naming starts with a number. Okay, then let's go to our draft. We need if we have like this number, okay, we need, this is the number for x, we need to have this value in x1, right? And the other one is in x2. This is in x2, and this is in x3, and this is in x4, and this is in x5, right? So we should get x5 from this equation. I think it's very easy to take it because we have done this in lab 3. If you don't know, you can revise lab 3. Okay, so it will be x divisible by remainder 10. We'll get the left digit in x. Okay, and the tens 2 is very easy because we have done this. x4 equal x percentage divided 10 percentage 10, and I think it's very easy to predict how we can get the other digits, like 3, 2, and 1. You just divide it by hundreds and thousands and 10,000s. How? Let's go through the third one. If you are having a number like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we divide it by hundreds, it will get 1, 2, 3 only. Then percentage 10 will get the left digit. If we divide this with 1000, we'll get 1, 2, percentage 10 will get the digit in the right. Then we should print f the value, percentage d, double spaces, percentage d. Let's copy paste this. Okay, then x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. If we have this number here, we'll write it like this. It will be distributed in 5 digits. Okay, to print every digit in its own, we should do it separated. Okay, another solution to this problem is that we should do the following. What does divided equal mean? Divided equal is the same as you can write x equal x divided 10. Okay, it is the same. If you do x plus equal 10, this means that x equal x plus 10. So you divide x by 10, then you put the value in x2. Then you can then get x4 from x percentage 10 without division, because division is being done in the path operation. We can do it again, and let's expect how we can get x3, x percentage 10 2. How? Let's go through the example with our draft. Okay, if you are having this value, this is our memory. Okay, having this value, and we are having x1, let's say x5. x5 is x percentage 10. X percentage 10 equal 5. These x values, percentage 10 will get us 5. And x4. Before we go x4, there is equation we need to do it. Okay, this equation is saying x divided equal 10, which is mean x equal x divided 10. X divided 10 equal 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divided 10. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we do x percentage 10, you will get 4. Right? Let's do it for the other values. x divided equal 10, which means x equal x divided 10. So it will be 1, 2, 3. And if we do x percentage 10 after x values become 1, 2, 3, it will be 3. Okay, let's continue doing this 3 times and see the output. Okay, number 3. Write a program that reads an integer and determines and prints whether it's an odd or even. Hint, use remainder operator. An even number is multiple of 2. So for the remainder operator, so this means that every even number remainder 2 should be equal 0. Okay, first of all, we need to determine our inputs and our outputs. The inputs is an integer. Let's say our draft here that we're having our inputs is x and it's in integer. Okay, then outputs is a word, right? Even or odd. So this means that in some place in the code we will not print even and odd, okay? Because every stuff that we have done in the last labs is just going through every line, executing every line in the code. So now we need to execute some statements in the code, some specific statements, like we need to print even if the number is even and odd if the number is odd. So this means that we don't need the executor to execute all the lines. How we can do this? We can do it using if statement, because executor will execute the block of code if a condition happens. To start discussing what's the meaning of if, short description is saying that if we are having a weather, or if in the problem we know that there is an if statement should be created. Okay, how if statement is created? If condition or conditions, a lot of conditions, we have curly brackets, then else another curly bracket. Okay, so here we can write block of code, lots of code. Okay, here we can write lots of code. Every statement should have semicolon at its end, like any C statement. But if here doesn't have this semicolon, should not have this semicolon. Curly bracket is mandatory if you are having here more than one line. If you are having 2 lines, we must have this curly bracket. Okay, this is the if statement. There is lots of things that we are having in this if statement, like this block of code. Let's say block of code A, and this is block of code B. Lots of code which we need to run if condition. If this condition is true, and true means non-zero, any non-zero value is in C is determined as true. Okay, so false means zero value. Okay, so if the condition is non-zero, got a non-zero. If the condition is true, if the condition you are writing is right in the real life scenario, so this block will be executed. If not, it will go to else block. Another thing in if that we can just write if statement for having condition without any else statement. Okay, without any else. So if can work without else. Another thing that students doesn't solve it right in the exam, if we are having like code like this, okay, we are having some block of code here and a block of code here and a block of code after if statement, and if we want to execute this code, so we will go through if the condition is true, we will go through block A, then after if finishes we should execute code in C2 because C here is after the if statement finishes. Okay, and if the condition is false, it should go to execute block B, then it should go to execute block C. Okay, the last thing we need to handle right now is what's the meaning of condition. Sorry. What's the meaning of condition? Condition has left hand side and operator and right hand side. We can have any value of variable in the left or the right hand side, and the operator can be any operator. Like, let us say if we are having two variables called x and y, we can say that if x is greater than y, okay, we can have it percentage 10 equal 5. This means that if the last digit of the variable is greater than 5, we can use another operator which is equal equal. We don't write equal only because equal only is assignment statement. The value in the right should be put in the variable in the left. We are using equal equal, and we also have greater than or equal, smaller than or equal. We also have not equal. Okay, not equal. So let's go back to our example. Go to our draft first. We need an input x as integer, so integer x, then scan f. Okay, before this we should have print f. Then we should have here if statement. Here is bunch of things that we do not write in if. First, we must write this brackets. Every if should have brackets and have condition inside it. And if we are going to write lots of code, we should have a curly bracket. Okay, so what is the condition we are trying to put here? Let's go back to the program. Write a program that reads an integer and determines and prints whether it's odd or even. So an even number is multiple of 2. So if we do the number percentage 10 means the remainder of the number, the remainder of the number with 2 if the number of the remainder is equal 0, this means that the number is even. If not, it will be odd. So we should click here percentage 2. If it's equal 0, this means what we should print here, we should print even. Okay, and if not, we should print odd, right? Because odd, any number percentage 2 does not equal 1. Okay, the equal 1, any number which is odd percentage 2 equal 1, which is an odd number. Okay, let's try to run this program and see what's going on. We are having an error here which is missing semicolon. Let's enter 20. It's even. 23, which is odd. So from the introduction, I've just said that if the block we are trying to write is just one line, it's okay if you didn't write those curly brackets, because this else have just one line, this if had just one line, so it's okay to have this if without curly brackets. But if you are having two lines here, it will not work. Okay, so if I changed this condition to be greater than 0, what should we print in block A and what should we print in block B? Yes, we should print here odd, because the odd number percentage 2 equal 1, which is greater than 0. And in the else, we should print even, because x percentage 2, if x and even, will be equal 0, and 0 is not greater than 0. Right. So it's okay to write not equal 0. What's the change we should do? Yes, there is no changes. You should leave it as it is, because the odd number percentage 2 equal 1, which is not equal 0. So this block of code will be executed, so it's an odd. Else it will be even. Let's run it the last time. See, this is odd and this is even. Question 4. Write a C program to read the quantity, unit price, discount type for any item. Your program will calculate the net price according to the following table, then print out the quantity, the unit price, the discount type, and the net price. The table saying that if your discount type is 1, you should take like 10% discount. 2, discount should be 15%. Other, you should take 5%. So to calculate the net price, you should just multiply unit price times quantity and then multiply it with discount type. If 1, you should multiply the value with 0.9, not 0.1, because we need the net value, the values that we should pay, not the value of the discount. And if the discount type is 2, we should multiply it with 0.95. If not, we should multiply it with 95. Discount type if 2, you should multiply it with 0.85. Okay, so let's go to our draft and write the inputs and the outputs. The inputs for this problem is quantity, unit price, and discount type, and the output is quantity, unit price, discount type, and net price. So we just take the input and print it as an output after we took all the inputs. First, let us think what is the data type for quantity. Do the problem say anything? No, so we will ourselves, okay? Quantity can be integer if you are selling chocolates, okay? And can also be float if you are selling like kilos of banana or whatever stuff. It can be a 1.5 kilo or like so. Right? Unit price should be float because price is float, and count type should be, yes, integer, because the table is saying that this count type is integer. So for number of inputs, we'll have scans with the number of inputs. So let's go to our program. So we'll have quantity, discount type as an integer, unit price is float. Please enter quantity, unit price, and discount type. Quantity is an integer, unit price is float, and discount type is an integer. So I scanned the three values. Then I'm trying to calculate the net price. So let's calculate float net price equal if the discount type equals 1, so net price is equal quantity times unit price times 0.9. Yes. But what we should do in else? we are having discount type equal to or other, right? So we should have an if nested in the other if here, saying that if discount type is 1, else if discount type is 2, we do same stuff, else we should do 0.95. Let's go through what we have done. First, if discount type is 1, so this statement will be executed and it will not enter the else statement, right? If not, it should enter the else statement. Here you can find another if statement which is called in programming nested if. When discount type equal to the net price equals this value, else the net price equal this value. Okay, then at last we should print the net price equal, it should be float, so I'll format it. Then print net price. We should also print all values for the input, which is quantity, and quantity is integer, so we should print it as an integer. Then should unit price, which is float, so it's okay, we can leave it as it is. Change it to unit. And the last thing is discount type which is integer. Let's go and print and see what's going on. So it's saying please write in the quantity. I will write 10, unit price which is 2.5, and discount type which is 1. So net price is 2.25. Why? Because we have done an awful mistake, which is we multiplies the discount type with the unit price, but in the real life we should multiply the quantity. This error is not determined as a syntax error. Syntax error is the error that's being raised when you do a syntax, like if you missed to write this semicolon, or if you didn't close a curly bracket. But this is a logical error, because here we multiply discount type with unit price, but in real life scenario we should multiply the quantity with the unit price. Okay, so quantity is 10, unit price 2.5, discount type is 1, so the net price is 22.5. I think it's right. And quantity is 10 and unit price is 2.5 and discount type is 1. Okay, there is another way to solve this. Instead of saving this float number, we can save discount only and set this discount value with 0.9, and here we can do it as 0.85. Here we can do it at this value. Then unit price is calculated as quantity times unit price times discount, which is being calculated from if statement. Okay, this is another solution for this. Also, there is another way to represent if else if statement. Let's go to our draft. There was two ways. We took two ways, which is if with a condition, then else, and if without else. We are having two representation, which is if condition, then block A, else if condition, which is block B, and else. Okay, here is another representation for if. If the condition is true, so it will go through in block A only. If not, it will check on the other condition here, and if it's true, it will go to block B. If condition 1 and condition 2 is false, it will execute block C. So it will enter one of these three blocks only, not all of them, not two of them, just one of those three blocks. Also, we can write as much as we need if else if statement. We can if else if condition, else if condition, else if condition, else if condition, and we can also write if else if without having else statement. This is another representation for if else if. So to change this code right now, we'll just move this if to be here, remove curly brackets, and we are there. Okay, we can remove all of these curly brackets because it's okay. We only have one statement, so if discount type is 1, it will execute this. If discount type is 2, it will execute this, else it will execute this statement. So we solved this question in two ways: if, else if statement, and nested if. Last thing we are having in this lab is take-home exam. It's required to write a program that reads in two integers and determines the smallest one. So please try it at home until we send you the new video. Thank you.